Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Alrighty, today I wanted to talk about PWCC, consigning with PWCC, and also buying with PWCC. And I did a video about Probstein, my review of it, and some people are like, why are you sending cards to a guy that's under investigation, or he was allegedly under investigation from the FBI? And here's the thing. When you're PWCC, when you are Probstein, when you are 4 Sharp Corners, and all the other big auction houses on eBay that consign, there will be some cards that slip through the cracks. Just like with PSA, there will be cards that slip through the cracks. And PSA is still number one. And the same thing goes with PWCC. Actually, it's a tie between PWCC and Probstein. They're the top two guys on eBay. And yes, there will be maybe less than 1% of the cards that are fraudulent, that didn't pass the smell test. Now, PWCC, from my understanding, does take cards off auction if they believe they are fraudulent, and they have improved in that regard from my understanding. So that's a plus. But anyways, I wanted to get first into my review of it, and then I'll talk more about PWCC. Okay, so the process of PWCC, for those that have not consigned with them, you go on their website. You first have to set up an account. Then you have to print a packing slip. You have to put all the details of the card. For instance, I had a Patrick Mahomes Optic Hollow PSA 10. I had to put all that information down on the packing slip, and then I had to pick which month that I was going to do it in. Was I going to, did I want to auction it off in the current month, or the upcoming month, or 2 months from now? I chose to do the one 2 months from now, which was actually in May. So I sent it in, I think, March, late March. And what happens is, once you send all that, or once you send the packing slip and the card to them, they will then check your card out. They will say, hey, you have sent this card to us and we have received it. PWCC's website will show that they've received it. And also you have to put the tracking number as well. So I like that feature of PWCC, where you know they have received the card. You could see it on their website, their portal, whatever you want to call it. And I like transparency in that regard. When you're dealing with Probstein, this is still probably this is the strangest process ever. But he's had a business where he makes millions of dollars. You send a paper sheet, you put down your information of the card, you put down your own information, your address, your phone number. It used to be PayPal. I'm pretty sure now it's going to be banking details. Now, you don't want that information stolen. That's the thing. But anyways, you may just put all that information, mail it out to him. He and his team will take that card, put it in his warehouse or wherever he stores it, and then he's going to post it. And assuming all that information is listed that he wants, like I said, name, address, phone, it's not PayPal, but bank information, he's going to probably post it within a few days. And you have to make sure that card is more than $50, by the way. And then he's going to post it. Sometimes he'll email you, sometimes he won't. He may just email you saying, got your card. So there's that. With PWCC, it's a little more transparent, where you sent them a packing slip, they have your packing slip information, they have your card, they have your tracking number. I like that process much better. So I technically would want to deal with PWCC The thing with Probstein, he's going to probably list it much quicker than PWCC. So that's one thing with PWCC. So you can also edit the title, I believe. Tell them, hey, edit this title, as long as you tell them right before they put it up. Once they put up the card, they can't edit the listing on eBay. Once the listing is set up on eBay, it goes for somewhere between 7 and 10 days. And then, obviously, the auction's over, and then the interesting part comes. So if the buyer pays, what happens? PWCC will probably ship right away. And the thing is, PWCC probably won't pay you until, obviously, they receive the money and a few weeks go by. Once that few weeks go by, they tend to pay out maybe the third or fourth week of the month. And yeah, it's a really simple process. Now, there may be caveats. Suppose a person returns a card, they put up a claim in eBay, that may delay the process of you getting paid, because if they're not paid, or if PWCC has to refund the money to the seller, then that creates all sorts of issues. The rule that I go with is, okay, 30 days after shipping, right? And as long as it's pretty much more than a month after alleged payment, then there probably shouldn't be any issues. I've been very iffy, for instance, with Probstein. With Probstein, what happens is he says in his spreadsheet, his email, that this is a cash advance. So a buyer pays, but Probstein says that, guess what? Since the buyer has the ability to return the card, guess what? You may be forced to pay me back. That's what he's basically saying as a cash advance. So what I'm looking at PWCC, they may pay within, a few weeks, but that guy could still return the card based on eBay's policies. So that's why I'm always iffy. If I get the money within 2 weeks, 3 weeks after alleged payment, I still want to make sure that you have ample amount of time so the buyer cannot raise any claim and there will be no issues whatsoever. The only claim that could come about that could hurt you in the future is if you sent a card that was a fake, and then who knows, the authorities may get involved with that, all of that. Sometimes it may not even be your fault because you don't even know it's a fake. But anyways, PWCC does have a huge staff. Sometimes it goes past all of them that they miss fraud, but most of the cards on there are definitely real. And I sent a real card to them. Now, my overall review of PWCC, I like the fact that PWCC has a transparent process. I can see when my expected payout's going to be. It was, June 16th, June 17th? And there was a great process for me sending the card to them. I know when they receive it. I don't have to email them saying, did you receive it? Did you receive it? Did you receive it? When you have a card that's $3,800, yeah, you may get a little bit nervous. That's why I'm a little nervous sending Probstein cards worth more than $1,000, even though he has experience in that. PWCC's auction house actually relieves my tension. So that's a plus for them. Another plus for PWCC, I had this one card, this one Mickey Mantle card that I consigned. This was a 1969 name in yellow. I bought the card for $450 in cash from this one dude who lives around me, who was about to retire, he told me. And that $450 card, I was just trying to get that money. I think I needed the money for whatever reason. And what happened was, I was supposed to basically break even. I thought, I get $500, take a net payout, $450, whatever I paid for. But guess what? PWCC determined that it was one of the top cards of that grade. I think the grade was a PSA 7, but they're saying that it's the top 15% of PSA 7s of that card. And I was like, sweet. So what ended up happening was, since PWCC gave that stamp of approval that it's a much higher grade, I got $300, $400 more than what I thought I would. And I took that money and then I reinvested in a Drew Brees Refractor 229. It's a PSA 9 card. I spent the most ever on a card. I think it's $1,800 in 2019. And I still have that card. It looks so nice. I don't want to get rid of it, even though it really hasn't gone crazy high as some of these other cards. I think it maybe doubled from where I bought it at. Still good. In 2016, there's a card that's $200. And now what's it's a few grand? Not bad. And now he's going to be working for NBC. Anyways, so PWCC is good in that regard. So if you have a vintage card and it's a higher grade than what they deem PSA graded it, well, you may be in for luck. So that's a benefit of using PWCC. Now, we may see some cynical comments here saying that, hey, like I was touching on before, hey, they're involved in fraud. They've hired a defense attorney or whatever, right? It's usually less than 1% of the cases. Apparently, they've been drilled on shield bidding. They are trying to come up with a better process of shield bidding. You have to put in your eBay handle, give them that information. If they detect any unusual activity, they will make sure to take certain actions based on that to prevent this shield bidding from going on. Ultimately, my opinion on shield bidding, you could have a brother or a cousin living in the other part of the world, and they may not be able to figure out that it was your brother or your cousin artificially bidding up the price. And they get into a bidding war, and then someone else bids higher than your relatives, and that's how you get paid more. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of eBay and other auction houses. And ultimately, it's hard regulating that. It's hard monitoring that part. But at least they have put in measures where, you give them your eBay ID, you're not going to be able to do that shield bidding. But obviously people, will come up with ways to still shield bid, unfortunately. I don't shield bid because that's not right. The $3,800 that the card sold for, I didn't bid at all. I just kept on watching it on eBay. That's about it. So my experiences with PWCC auction house right now, consignment, whatever you want to call it, I have had a decent experience. From the buy side too, I like buying from them. They ship for me in a relatively timely fashion. I haven't bought too many cards right now because everything's expensive. I'm just paying off my PayPal credit bill, right? They say pay $600 so you don't get interest, so I pay that $600, stuff like that. I'm trying to get it to a zero balance, so when the market does crash, much harder than it is right now, I'm probably going to be going on PWCC. Anyways, guys, I do want you to comment down below. What are your opinions on PWCC? Have you used them recently? What are your positive reviews of them? What are your complaints? I am curious about your opinion. Alright, guys, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks. Bye.